Hi guys, JPA here, back with a new video, and we're going to be talking about the World Cup now. That's the season over now in terms of domestic football, so we're going to talk about the World Cup that's coming up in a couple of days' time. Obviously Scotland aren't in it, which is a bit disappointing, but we can still talk about it, we can still watch some of the games, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now this video is going to be slightly different this time. I'm going to have my brother-in-law here, Scott. He's going to talk about a couple of the games as well. We're going to go through the groups and decide who we think are going to finish first and second in those groups, and ultimately obviously who will go through. Right, so let's get straight into this. Group A is Russia, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia and Egypt. I'm going to say that Russia and Uruguay will finish in the top two spots. I think Russia will finish first and Uruguay will finish second, and they two will go through. What do you think, Scott?
I think personally Uruguay will top the group, and I think Egypt might snap second place just because of Mo Salah, and I think he'll still be in great confidence for the Premier League season that he's just had with being the top goal scorer and getting the Golden Boot.
That's a good point. Is Mo Salah fit for the World Cup? Well, I know he had that injury in the Champions League final.
Yeah, he's back training with Egypt the other day, and he's going to be ready for the first game against Uruguay, I think it is.
Oh, that's a good boost then.
And no really like playing or doing a pre-season sort of thing before the World Cup. He might be a wee bit extra fit.
That's a good point, actually. So Group B is Spain, Portugal, Morocco and Iran. I think Spain and Portugal will finish in top two spots. Obviously I think Spain will finish first and Portugal will finish second.
I agree with you 100%. I think Spain and Portugal will definitely go through, but I don't think it'll be as easy as what some people might think. I think Iran will sit deep in most of their games because they didn't have the quality as Spain and Portugal. And Portugal in the Euros were quite negative, didn't score many goals, and basically won the Euros through drawing most of their games, which was quite sad. I like to watch football that are quite attacking, so I think Spain will top it. I think Portugal will be second, like what you say, but then I think it'll be as easy as what people think.
No, I totally agree with that, Mike. So on to Group C now. It's France, Denmark, Peru and Australia. I think France will win the group comfortably, to be honest. I think Denmark will just sneak it. A lot of their play comes through Christian Eriksen, and they're a pretty good team. They put it, who's it? Ireland, I think they put it in the playoffs. So yeah, that's my top two. What do you think, Scott?
Agree with you again 100%. France should win the group comfortably. I think they'll go through the group unbeaten. Denmark might get one or two draws and win one of their games. I think they will go through, just like as you say, just sneaking it.
On to Group D now. Argentina, Iceland, Croatia and Nigeria. This is probably the toughest group so far. I think Argentina will probably top that group. Followed probably by, I think, Iceland, but it's going to be so close between them and Croatia. I think both teams are pretty good. Iceland put England out of the last tournament, and they did really well in that tournament, so I think they'll gain a little bit of confidence from that. So I think they too can go through.
I think Argentina will top the group. I think they've just got too much star power up front. Their defence isn't fantastic, but the likes of Messi, Dybala, Sergio Aguero should just overrun defences. I think second place will go to Croatia. They've got good attackers too. I'm not too sure about their defence, how strong it will be, but they've got like Perisic, Modric, Mandzukic, very good attacking players. And I think Iceland will just be unlucky to not get second place.
That's true. Now we're in a Group E. It's Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica and Serbia. I think Brazil will top that group pretty comfortably, to be honest. They've got probably the favourites to win the tournament actually. They've got a really strong squad. People like Neymar, Coutinho, Willian, great players. And just, I think second place will probably go to Switzerland. They've got Shaqiri, and they've got a number of good players, and they'll probably just tip Serbia, I think, maybe come third in that. So that's my top two, is Brazil and Switzerland.
I agree with you. I think Brazil comfortably unbeaten, and I think they'll go in that group. And then Switzerland, they're usually do well in these sort of tournaments, get out of the groups, but I think they will just nip second.
Group F is Germany, Mexico, Sweden and South Korea. I think Germany will easily top that group, to be honest. They're by far the strongest in that group. And for me, they're favourites as well, along with Brazil, to win the tournament outright. They've got a number of good players, and they've left a lot of good players out as well. Sané's out of the team. Götze was left as well. I think Mexico can steal second. They've got a number of good players as well. It's disappointing not to see some of the Rangers boys involved in the squad, but for obvious reasons of them playing in a substandard league, they're not there. What do you think, Scott?
I agree with you. I think Mexico will get second, but it just highlights how good the young Germany team is. Leaving out Leroy Sané, who's just had the season of his life, getting young player of the season. Leaving out Götze, who won the last World Cup with a goal against Argentina to win 1-0 for Germany.
Right,
Just dropping players like that just shows you the star quality they've got on show. And Neuer's just came back from injury, and Neuer's no mug. He kens what it takes to win these sort of tournaments without winning the last World Cup.
They've got a top class player.
They've got a very, very strong team, and I agree with you, they're one of the favourites to win it.
Who do you think will come second in that group?
Mexico, same as you.
Yeah, so agreeing on that one. On to penultimate group now. We've got Group G, Belgium, Panama, Tunisia and England. I think Belgium will win that group quite comfortably, to be honest. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku. Actually, I was surprised they left out, I can't pronounce it, Nangolan? Is it?
Aye, Raja Nangolan.
The Roma player. I thought he had a good season, and I was surprised that he was left. It's Roberto Martinez, who's the manager, who used to manage Everton, Swansea, teams like that. He's the manager. He's decided he can't fit him in the squad. I think they'll still top the group. I think England will come second. They will qualify, but I think they'll find it a lot tougher than they have in previous tournaments. They've not got as good a squad as they usually have in tournaments, and they've underperformed for me in tournaments. But I think they've got a squad that's not as good as previous, and I think they'll struggle a little bit, but they will go through.
I agree with you, 100%. I think England will finish second. I think Belgium will finish first. I think Roberto Martinez leaving out Regan N'Golan is pretty stupid. He's took Fellaini, and if you had the choice between Fellaini and Regan N'Golan, it's quite obvious who you're going to take. I think Belgium's got another world-class team. They're quite young. They might do well in the next tournament, but I don't think they're going to do anything in this one. I think they're good enough to make it to the quarters maybe, but the likes of Hazard, Fellaini, Witsel, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Vertonghen, they might help them, but they've got great individuals, but in previous tournaments they've not really played well as a team. England, they've took over a young squad, but they didn't have that much creativity in the midfield, whereas Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's a world-class player, but he can drive forward for midfield with pace, and they didn't have that. And when they're playing Dele Alli as a forward player, so he can't go into midfield and then drive forward because he's playing in the 3-4-3 up front with Kane and Sterling, which might hinder them in the midfield. So they're going to play as in two defensive midfielders and then the two wing backs. It'll be interesting to see. England always have this false perception like they're going to win the World Cup and they're going to do it easily. I don't think they're going to win this World Cup. I don't even think they might make it to the quarters. I think they'll struggle big time.
I totally agree with that, mate. And on to the last group now. Group H consists of Poland, Senegal, Colombia and Japan. I think Poland will win that group. They've got a lot of good players, a lot of attacking options. Lewandowski is a world-class striker in my opinion. They've got a lot of good midfielders, Zielinski being one of them. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the other guys. I think Colombia can just finish just behind them. They've got obviously Falcao and players like that. I was disappointed obviously Morelos not getting in, with me being a Rangers fan, but you can see the quality that they've got, that he's just not going to get anywhere near that squad just now. But I think they'll finish second. I'm not too sure about the other two teams in that group. Senegal, they had a fantastic World Cup. I think it was like 2002. They had a really good tournament, and a lot of the players ended up in Premiership teams, but they're not as good as they used to be. Japan are pretty much the same. as they have been as well. So yeah, Poland and Colombia for me, I think they'll go through.
Yeah, I agree with you totally 100%. Japan, they only really have Shinji Kagawa. Senegal really only rely on Sadio Mane, and I think it'll take more than one player to drag them through a group. I think Colombia will finish second with, like, say, Cuadrado for Juventus, Falcao, as you say, Zapata for AC Milan at the back, and David Ospina in goals. No fantastic team, I think good enough to get the group, and Poland will win that group. I don't think they'll win it comfortably. I think it'll be 1 or 2 points, but they win it by maybe possibly 3, but I don't think any more than that. I think they've got great players like Błaszkowski, Piszczek, Glick for Monaco, and Zelensky for Napoli, who's just had a good season, and then obviously the world-class striker in Lewandowski. I think Poland will just have that bit extra just to win the group and make it easier in the knockout stage.
I agree, like, totally. So that's the groups done. We're going to have a wee talk about who we think will win the Golden Boot. I think it'll be between probably a French or a German player. I think those are the type of players that are going to go further in the tournament, and you have to think that the Golden Boot winner is going to get to at least the semis in order to score more goals. One guy we've not really mentioned is Suarez for Uruguay. I think he can have a good tournament this year. And my top goal scorer who's going to win the Golden Boot for me is Thomas Muller. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the world of football right now. I think he's absolutely outstanding. He scores a lot of goals, a lot of important goals for Bayern and for Germany, and he's a class player. I think he can win the Golden Boot. Do you think so?
I agree with you. I think it'll become down to a French player and a German player, and there's only one French player that could probably take it, and that's Griezmann.
Giroud.
No.
Griezmann, aye.
Guy, Griezmann or Muller, and we've not really mentioned Neymar either, but Brazil's attacking line, they all get their fair share of goals. Firmino, Coutinho, Willian, Neymar, and Neymar's just coming back for injury, so we didn't actually know how good he'll be. He scored a goal about a week ago against Croatia at Anfield, which was spectacular, but that's only one. Do you think he'll be able to do it at a high intensity World Cup? I'm not too sure, just coming back for the injury, and he's rushed himself back for the World Cup, so if he gets the reoccurring injury, Brazil might regret him coming back quite early. I think Griezmann, if France were going to win our World Cup, I think Griezmann might get it, but I don't think France will win it. I think Germany will win the World Cup, and I think Muller will get the Golden Boot, as JP says, by just him being a world-class player and being underrated. Teams might underestimate him, and he always does well in the World Cup.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't actually mention that I think Germany will win the World Cup outright. That's one thing I didn't say. I probably hinted at it, but I didn't actually say it, so I just want to get that on camera while we're here. One thing I will say is we're talking about goal scorers and high goal scorers. We've not mentioned the 2 best players in the world, who's Messi and Ronaldo, which is quite strange because they score like 50 plus goals each season, and we've not even mentioned them.
Yeah, it's like we've overlooked them, but Portugal's in a tough group with Spain, and I don't think Portugal play in a way that suits Ronaldo. They play quite defensive, and Ronaldo, like in the Real Madrid team, he's got that free role where he can go to the left, right, in the middle, and I don't think he'll be able to do that in the Portugal team.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Ronaldo to be the main man for Portugal.
And they play quite defensive, so it's not going to be up Ronaldo's street. I think he will score a couple in this tournament, maybe 4, 5. Then I think he'll be the top goal scorer.
No, and I think with Messi, he's probably more of a provider for, like, says Aguero.
He comes more deep and tries to set up Aguero, Dybala, Di Maria if he's there.
Yeah, I definitely think that. So that's the video over now, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Please comment down below who you think the group winners will be, probably winners as well, and the Golden Boot winner. And we can all come back in a couple of weeks' time and we can discuss where we went wrong and where we went right. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.